In this new lesson, we're going to learn a lot of new things. So I need you to make a list of some of the responsibilities you have at home, things you have to do and that no one else can do it. So I'm going to ask you to put pause to the video and to write them on your notebook. So in this moment, please put pause to the video and you write your list. After you paused the video, now you probably already have your list and we can compare. Here are some of the things that usually students are expected to do at home, right? Or children your age. Probably do my bed, put on my clothes, brush my teeth, take the dog for a walk, do homework, help set the table, feed the dog. Those are some of the responsibilities you probably share at home with your family. So, as you can probably identify, today we're going to talk about responsibilities. About the responsibilities we have at home or at school and in different places. So let's see this example. Marisa has to feed and walk the dog because we're going to talk about Marisa and Ari's responsibilities. Ari has to water the garden. Marisa and Ari have to help their grandmother go grocery shopping. So good. As you can see, we're talking about two people, two girls, and the responsibilities they have. So I would like to make some questions to you. What does Marisa have to do every Saturday morning? She has to feed the dog, right? Now, what does Ari have to do? Ari has to water the garden, right? And what do Marisa and Ari both have to do every Saturday morning? They have to help their grandmother go grocery shopping, right? So, as you can see, we're talking about responsibilities and we're using a specific format, but I want you to start paying attention to this difference. When we're talking about the girls, in this case, if we change the names for she, for she in this case, we're using has for the third person. She has, right? While when we're talking about two people at the same time, we're using the plural form, right? They, they. So we say they have to, okay? So let's talk about responsibilities at school. Do you have the following responsibilities at school? I have to say hello to my teacher and friends. You have to take notes from class. We have to make questions. I don't have to stay inside the class all day. I don't have to clean all the class, only around my desk. The teacher has to write her assignments on the board. And she doesn't have to speak in English all the time. What do you have to do at your school? Why do you do it? And when and where are you expected to do it? So as you can see in this text, we're talking about responsibilities and how students and teachers are expected to react, to respond based on the role they have, right? As you can see here in the sentences, when we talk about responsibilities, we're using have to. I have to in affirmative form, and I don't have to in negative. And here we're using I, you, we. I didn't make an example of they, but they all use have to. I have to say, I have to take notes. I have to make questions. So you can see we use have to before the verb. Now, when it's negative, we say don't have to. I don't have to stay inside. We always use the apostrophe right here. I don't have to stay. I don't have to clean. Now, when we're talking about the third person, he, she, or it, we use has to. The teacher has to write her assignments on the board, right? So if we can substitute the teacher for she, so it's the third person, and we say she has to write the same thing, right? Only we change, instead of have, we're saying has to. And in the negative form, instead of don't, we use she doesn't have to. Notice that only in the affirmative form we use has. And then we say in the negative form, she doesn't have to speak in English all the time. Now, if you noticed, I made, aside from affirmative and negative sentences, I made a question, a yes-no question. Do you have the following responsibilities at home? You can say yes, I do, or no, I don't, right? And I added information questions. What do you have to do at your school? Well, I have to, and you say what you have to do, right? Why do you do it? Well, I have to clean my area because I want to have a nice space where I can study, right? When and where are you expected to do it, right? In the morning, when I come into school, in my classroom, or at the end of the day, I don't know. The practices or the routines vary depending on the school. So to look at as a chart, affirmative and negative statements with IUE day, we use have to when it's affirmative. And if it's the third person, she, he, it, we say she has to fill in mind maps, for example, in this case. But in the negative, I, you, we, or they don't have to copy everything. Or he, she, it doesn't have to use pencil. For yes, no questions and answers. Affirmative statements as answers and negative statements. Do you have to clean your room? Yes, I do. I dust, sweep, and mop it, right? Because we dust it with a broom, we sweep it with we dust it, we sweep it with a broom, and we mop it with a mop. Negative statements as a negative answer. No, I don't. My mom does it. Usually we should be doing that, right? But it's an example. So it says here, right? Does your mom have to do your bed? Yes, she does. She likes to do it. Or no, she doesn't. I have to and can do it, right? Because we usually all can do our beds unless we're small or little children, right? Good. Information questions, right? Possible answers. What do you have to do after you get to school? I have to place my materials in order. Notice that here we're asking for what thing, why, what reason, when, in what moment in time, where, in what location, in what place, and how, in what form. And all of them are using what, do. If we talk about the third person, we instead of do, we use does, and how do, right? How do you, how do I, how does she have to, right? And in questions, we always use have to also, right? Even if it's the third person, where does your teacher have to? We don't say where does your teacher has to. No. Remember, has is only for affirmative sentences. So why do you have to leave them in order, your things, right? I have to leave them in order so I can find it faster. When do you have to ask your questions? We have to ask our questions when the teacher says or at the end of an explanation. Where does your teacher have to leave her things? She has to leave them on her desk. How do you have to write on your notebook? We have to use pen, black, blue, and red, right? So in what way you have to use it or write on your notebook? So how do, how does, when do, why do, and what do. Okay, and then you have to, she has to, etc. So let's check the mistake in the following sentences. Let's see if you can identify it. Which is the mistake? I have to do my homework. Is that correct? Hmm. No, it's not. We would say, I have to do my homework because we're using I in this case. I have. Only change have for has when we use she, he, and it. You don't has to turn in your homework late. You don't has to turn in your homework late. Again, the mistake is has. We say you don't have to turn in your homework late. Good. Let's see the next one. He have to speak in English. He have to speak in English? No, 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 no. In this case, we do have to change have. He has to speak in English. Then we have it don't have to stay outside. It don't have to? No, we change it. It's the third person. It doesn't have to stay outside. Let's see. Another set of sentences. Does she have to bring a notebook to class? Do she have to bring a notebook to class? The mistake is, does she have to bring a notebook in class? Because we use does for she, he, and it for yes/no questions. Does they have to pay attention in class? Obviously the mistake is there, right? Because we should be saying, do they have to pay attention in class? What type of food does you have to eat for a snack? What type of food does you have to eat for a snack? No. The correct sentence would be, what type of food do you have to eat for a snack? And finally, where do she have to do her art projects? It's not where does she, it's where does she have to do her art projects? Okay. So if we answered well, we're in the right track. So don't forget, you don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. This is from Zig Ziglar. Okay, so it was nice having you here. I hope to see you in another lesson. Take care. Bye.